Texas defeated Arizona State 39-31 in a double OT thriller. Arizona State quarterback Sam Leavitt was picked off on 3rd and 8, winning the game for the Longhorns. The comeback attempt falls just short for the Sun Devils, and the Longhorns have punched their ticket to the Cotton Bowl. S.A., I'll start with you. What stood out to you most from Texas ASU?
Skattebo. This brother was something special.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a dominant performance. He walked into the game proclaiming himself to be the best back in college football. And I got to admit to you, I like, who is this guy? And then the next thing you know, I watched him yesterday and I said, man child, man amongst boys. He was that. I mean, there were times, I had tweeted on several occasions, are you going to throw the football at all? Could you throw some suspense into the equation, Arizona State? You're down 24-8, okay? I'm thinking you got no way to come back because the offense is so predictable. I'm saying you got to throw the damn football. You're playing a quarterback position for a reason. Throw the damn football. And then you watch this dude. Also, he threw the damn football.
Yeah,
football, okay? And he threw for a touchdown, ultimately crawling them back, and then ultimately ran in for a touchdown. But he was absolutely sensational. Over 240 yards from scrimmage. He was a man amongst boys. Make no mistake about it. I departed from this game. I don't want to say robbed. I really, really don't. I don't like the sloppiness of Texas. I think Sarkisian got to fix some things there. But I'm looking at it and I'm saying, that was a target that they did not call. They did not call on Taffy. You got to call that, for crying out loud. And to miss that call, because if you give them that call, which would have been the right call, they're in position to kick a game-winning field goal and come back from a 24-8 deficit and win this game. And to not make that call, there was a part of me that loved the fact that, okay, it's going to go to overtime, then it's going to be competition, a field goal kicker, this dude for Texas. Not once, but twice. I really find it hard. Like, what would it be like for you to go in that locker room? You got one job. One job. That's it. And unlike everybody else on your team, you got one job and can't do that right, no matter how much Sarkisian was pumping him up. But in the end, Texas survived. Skattebo, this brother is special. He's special. He's a man amongst boys on the college football level. I walked away thinking about him and feeling sad that he ultimately ended up going home defeated.
I'm proud of myself because I voted him 3rd for the Heisman.
Did you?
Yes.
Because that's a conversation as well.
I bet him 3rd he would finish 5th. Because I had seen him against a couple games late in the year. He is great. He's going to be a good pro because he's a football.
David Montgomery.
He's a football player.
He's a football
He'll
player.
figure out a way to make a team and be a factor. Two things. Steve hit it right on the target. You have to call that. That's ridiculous. If that's not a targeting, I don't know what the heck is.
Yeah.
I saw you on Get Up.
Yeah.
You guys are all over it. Nothing much for me to add. Two things I'd say that I think people are overrating it a little bit. The games have been so bad. This game was awful until about 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The first 3.5 quarters of this game. And yes, my hand is raised. I had Arizona State plus 13.5. And it was 24-8. And I did have them. But the game was bad for a long period of time. And then it was, great for and I tell you, I was shocked. They started the Rose Bowl on our network before this game was over.
But this game went for like 4 hours and 20 minutes.
5:15, no. I mean, what, the Rose Bowl controls it? I don't want to go to ESPN, too, for crying out loud. Say something here. You run the place.
I wish I did. Trust me, I do not.
That might be the most interesting thing all day.
Trust me, I don't. Believe
that.
I
was shocked. But I think what Stevie said is 100% right. Texas is awfully sloppy.
Yes.
The fact that at 24-8, they had to get a 4th and 13 just to survive, that to me is a shaky sign.
I'm going to get into that. I do think the Heisman angle of this all, because now that the college football playoff has become such an integral part of it, and we go to the 3rd week of January, I think there is something to be said for pushing the Heisman voting back a little bit, because I guarantee you there was plenty of people who have a Heisman vote who have not seen one full game played by Skattebo. And so this is the opportunity. And I think that there's something to be said for maybe extending when this voting happens so everybody truly, now no matter what they say, truly gets the opportunity to watch all of these guys, because I think that's interesting that you voted for him 3rd. As I agree with you, Texas sloppy, you got to tip your hat to Quinn Ewers into composure in the moment.
No question. I connected 25-yard connection to Helm.
He's been
that was big time.
maligned.
That was big time.
They got to bench him from Arch Manning. I have been on record saying, if it gets dicey and it's not going well, you got to go to Arch Manning. After he throws that pick, he goes 11 for 14 for 160 yards. And to make that 4th and 13 conversion, That's
time.
huge.
That's a big
because
time.
you got the weight of the world on
Yeah.
your shoulders in that moment. And I think his composure, because if you watch it, he sends the motion, he sees the blitz, he changes everything, communicates, snaps the ball at enough time, and then sees that post receiver because no one really else is. I want to give him credit for that.
Question for you, though. I appreciate that. But I find myself looking like it's 4th and 13. How you let Helm get behind you?
Well, Helm isn't the guy who catches the 4th and 13. He catches the game winner.
He catches the game winner.
Yes.
I'm sorry, not the 4th and 13,
Yes.
but I'm saying he catches the game
Sure.
winner. I'm just saying, how you let they gotta score. It's 4th down. You gotta score a touchdown.
Right.
There's only one way.
Right.
How do you let that happen?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm looking at Arizona State. I'm like, really?
It's a little
Really?
bit. They're bringing a kind of blitz, and they think
Come on, man.
No, you're right.
Come
I mean,
on, you cannot let a receiver get behind you.
Yeah.
If anything, keep everything in front of you. How you let him get behind you?
I
mean, come on,
guarantee you,
man.
Arizona State is wishing, without getting super deep football, they took people from the line of scrimmage and dropped them out. I guarantee they're wishing, saying, I just wish they brought the house. Like, blitz everybody and make the ball, because he's got time to make that throw. But I do think, I agree, the sloppiness of the offense, this year I've said, Sark is too good, and they're too talented on offense for them to get stuck in the mud at times. They scored 2 touchdowns within their first 70 seconds of the game.
Threw him off.
And then after that, they didn't do anything really.
So do you feel like Arizona State got robbed?
No.
No, I don't. Because of
what
you
we
guys
just said. Gave up a 4th and 13, gave up that touchdown. No, that's on you.
I think that's a tough no call if you're Arizona
It is.
State. God knows.
It
Who
is.
knows? That's a tough call because if anybody watches college football on a consistent basis, the 2 kind of definitions that we are taught when we cover it are, 1, forcible contact with the helmet to the head or neck area of a defenseless player, or a designation of a launching, the crown of the helmet, you leave your feet. There's not much that tells me that receiver's not defenseless.
Well, you definitely had a defenseless receiver. He definitely got hit in the helmet. There's no doubt about it. Got hit in the head. The flip side is that the crown of the helmet wasn't what hit him.
Correct.
All right. So in other words, you're going after him and you basically run into him. I understand that. It's still targeting because you got to avoid the head. You got to avoid above the neck. I do understand that on that face. But it wasn't like you launched at him with the crown of your helmet. That's not what happened.
Correct. But the fact that, the only way you don't throw that flag, I said this, was 1, does the ball getting tipped change the rule by definition? That answer is no. So the only way that you don't throw this flag and call targeting, and then while reviewing it, don't overturn it to targeting, is you deem that player is not defenseless. I think that's a very difficult thing to justify. We haven't gotten any explanation of to why, but there's nothing that tells me as a football person that receiver is not defenseless.
And they spend hours and they waste so much time. They look at that replay forever on every targeting play in college football. And this, they go look and they realize it's not targeting?
Yes.
They call targeting constantly.
Arizona State played the first half of the game
Without their best player.
because
made a big interception.
Correct.
You almost get the idea that the officials, including replay officials, didn't want to have the game end on that kind of call.
Because it would have put Arizona in field
and they
position.
would have probably won
It was
the
like
game.
at the 37th yard line.
Yeah, and the kick is bad.
And if the kick is bad, it would have been.
First down at the 33.
about-
First down at the 33
Yeah,
yard.
there you go. Yeah.
And they got a bad kicker, so you
Right.
never know.
Right.
But it's almost like I got the idea that says, you know what, it's probably targeting, but let's not end it this way.
Yeah.
Let them play it out. That's the impression I got.